So, hello 90s, what's up? Enjoying lockdown? That is superb. But here, I, Hemant Taneja, once again with you to teach you another chapter, and the name of the chapter is The Little Girl. Alright, so before getting the detailed explanation of this chapter, let's come to know the theme of this chapter as well. So, this story is actually about a girl who in fact has become judgmental about her father. So this is what the chapter speaks about. Sometimes it happens that children become judgmental about their parents. Judgmental, you understand? Judgmental means to be loaded with a preoccupied mindset about someone. That's what is called to be judgmental. Like we in fact develop our ideas about someone in advance. That's what is called to be judgmental. So, it happens on account of their parents' strictness. Sometimes parents have their own tactics, strategies to nurture, to rear their children. But when they become slightly harsh, we believe that they're too strict. All right, and then in fact the children develop negative thinkings about their parent. So this is what has been shown in this chapter. All right, so I hope that you must have understood theme. Now let's study further. So see the little girl. Let's study the explanation of this chapter. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared and avoided. Here, little girl is Kezia, who is protagonist of this chapter. Protagonist means central character, main character. And for her father was a figure to be feared and to be avoided. She wanted to avoid her father as much as possible. Why? We would study further. Every morning before going to work, he came to in her room and gave her a casual kiss. So before going to office, father came to her room and gave her a casual kiss, means you can say kiss full of formality. She did not find that essential love which should have been there. All right, to which she responded with good boy. And she said goodbye to her father. Father, oh, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. That's what happens with most of the children. If parents are strict or any parent is strict, the children feel much relieved in their absence. So the same sense was there with her as well. When she heard father going to office, the sound of carriage, horse carriage, getting fainter and fainter, weaker and weaker. So that sound used to be an ambassador of relief for her. She felt quite relieved finding her father going to his office. Alright. In the evening when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. What was the loud voice? Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper is out there and bring me my slippers. So several instructions were passed by her father and she heard them. Kezia, mother would call to her. Her mother used to call her, if you're a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boots. Mother instructed her to remove the shoes of father. Slowly, the girl would slip down the stairs. She came down more slowly, still across the hall. And she came slowly intentionally. As we studied, she did not want to encounter, she did not want to come before her father. So that is why she took extra time herself intentionally and push open the drawing door. Alright, she pushed the door of drawing open, and by that time he had his spectacles on. He had put on his glasses and looked at over them in a way that was terrifying to little girl. And by wearing glasses, she looked at his daughter in such awkward manner, weird manner, which was actually a terrifying thing for Kezia. So she did not like her father to see her in that way, but this was the habit of father to look at her in that fashion. Yes, well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Haven't you been a good girl today? So father instructed her to remove the shoes and and to take them out. But see the reaction of Kezia. Kezia, don't, no, father. Like stammering. This is what is called stammering. She was so deeply terrified with her father that even she was not able to speak fluently. Alright. So let's see what is next. You do not, if you slaughter like that, mother, if you slaughter like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. And father even copied Kezia. He showed her the way she was speaking, and he told her if she did not stop stammering, sluttering, she would be taken to doctor by her mother. She never stuttered with other people. So she never stammered with other people, had quite given it up. There was a time when she used to stammer, but now she has completely abandoned it, left it. But this was on account of fear of her father. It took place automatically. Alright, once she reached before her father, she started stammering naturally. So that's what is mentioned here, but only with her father, because then she was trying so hard to say the word properly. It was on account of pressure of her father, which in fact made her emphasize her speaking so harshly that in fact she started stammering. But father never understood it. He in fact scolded her for the same. See, what is further? What the matter? What are you looking so wretched about? What is wretched? It's mentioned here already. That means unhappy. Father asked, what's wrong with you? Why are you looking so unhappy? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. He instructed his mother. He said, Mother, you please teach this child. It seems to me that she is gonna commit suicide. Alright, so you must teach to be happy, otherwise from her face it looks that she is gonna commit suicide. So see what is mentioned further. Here, Kezia, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. Another instruction asking her to take teacup back to the table. He was so big. This is what physical appearance of Kezia's father. He was a big man. His hands and his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned. Yawn, when we get up and we in fact yawn by opening our mouth. So when he yawned, thinking about alone was like thinking about a giant. And when she fancied her father yawning, she literally fancied him being a giant, devil, a monster. So she imagined that she imagined that her father yawned like a monster. On Sunday afternoons, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. Grandmother in fact intended her to be more social with her parents, and this was the reason she always prompted her to be more with her parents. Alright, so of course it was Sunday, so both the parents were there together, but the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa. You can see the same mentioned in this picture also. Father is stretched on the sofa, his handkerchief, his hanky on his face. The picture has exactly the same thing. His feet on one of the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. Snoring, it's actually that, what is snoring? It's that scooter sound which is produced by people while sleeping. Grrr, grrr. Alright, so that sound which is produced while sleeping, that's what is called snoring. Alright, so father used to produce that scooter sound. So let's see what is next. She sat on a stool gravely. Gravely means seriously. Watch him until he woke and stretched and asked the time, then looked at her. Alright, father asked the time and then looked at her, and see what father spoke further. He said, don't stare so, Kezia. You look like a little brown owl. My God. This is my personal opinion about this chapter, that even father has been shown too rude, to be strict for teaching something good to children does not mean to pass this kind of derogatory remark. I personally, do not like this remark at all. In fact, he is declaring his daughter a brown owl. This is very, very insensitive. This is very, very harsh. No father should be like that. But, this was the habit of her father to speak this kind of derogatory remark. What I have spoken, derogatory. What is derogatory? A poor comment about someone is called derogatory remark. Fine. So let's see. One day when she was kept indoors, inside with a cold, she had cold, so she was inside. Her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week and suggested she should make him a pin cushion, a kind of cushion, for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. So once again, grandmother, who was an understanding lady, prompted her to make a gift for her father herself, which would of course, which would gladden him, make him happy. Alright, and she suggested Kezia to make a what cushion? Laboriously means with great effort, with great hard work, with a double cotton. She took a double cotton piece of sheet. The little girl stitched it three sides, but what to fill in with? Of course, when cushion is there, cushion, what is cushion? Younger brother of pillow, small size pillow. Yes, so something is to be filled. Generally, cotton is filled inside, but she was confused since cotton must not have been available there. She was confused what to fill inside, and that is why she, in fact, was doubtful what to do, how to complete her task. That was the question. The grandmother was out in the garden, and she wondered. She was comprehensive, doubtful, about what into mother's bedroom. The grandfather, she was doubtful. The grandmother was out in the garden and she wondered. Here wandered is there. Wandered means roamed. Alright, into mother's bedroom to look for scraps. Scrap is mentioned. Small pieces of cloth or paper, etc., that are not needed. So she thought that she would find little scrap there that she would fill inside the cushion. So that's why she went there. On the bed table, she discovered a great many sheets of fine paper, gathered them up. Some fine papers were kept. She collected them and tore them into tiny small pieces and stuffed and filled, her case, her cushion case. Then sewed up the four sides, and one side which was opened, she sewed that as well. So in this way, her cushion was ready. Cushion which was to be given to her father on his birthday. So let's see further what happens. That night there was a hue and cry in the house. What is hue and cry? Angry protest. Father's great speech for the port authority had been lost. He had prepared a speech that was to be given for port authority. It must have been any organization. So for this organization, he was supposed to give the speech, but the speech was missing. Where was it? Any rat took or cat took or monkey ate. Let's see further. Very full of suspense. So rooms were searched. Servant questioned. They were examined. Finally, mother came into Kezia's room and she asked, Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some papers on a table in our room. She asked, mother asked, that did you see some papers in our room? Oh yes, Kezia said. She said, I tore them up for surprise. And she was so innocent, so gullible. She really did not know that those papers were precious paper, very essential imperative papers of a father. Being a very docile girl, gullible girl, she told plainly that she had torn them and filled them for making cushion for father. Fine, so let's see the upshot of this, outcome of this. So see, then what happened? What? Screamed, shouted mother, come straight down to dining room this instant. Mother said, come down straightforwardly, this instant. And she was dragged down, and then mother caught her hand and pulled her down where father was pacing. He was moving quickly to and fro. To and fro means left and right, hand behind his back. Well, he said sharply in a interrogative tone. Father asked, what? Why have you brought her here? Mother explained. She in fact explained the whole theory, what had happened, and then he stopped, stared at the child, looked at the child, and he asked, did you do that? No, 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 no. She whispered. Mother, go up to her room and fetch down the damn thing. Bring that damn thing. That hellish thing. What is hellish thing? That pillow. See that the child has put to bed this instant. See, the child has put to that bed, instant. Bring that. It's kept, on bed. Bring that pillow immediately. That cushion immediately. Crying too much to explain. Kezia tried to explain that it in fact meant for him. If she had made that, she had made, to give it to him on his birthday. So it was something special for him. But she lay in the shadowed room, watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. So what she saw that in her room, darkness was there which was making a sad pattern. So then father came into the room with a ruler in his hand. Father came into the room and he had brought a stick in his hand. What he said, I am going to beat you for this. He said, oh no, no, she screamed, shouted, hiding under the bedclothes. He pulled them aside. He removed those bedclothes. Sit up, he ordered. He said, do ups and downs. Sit up and hold out your hands. You must be taught once and for all not to touch what does not belong to you. And you must be given a strict lesson. What is that lesson? The thing which is not yours. You are not supposed to touch that. Alright. But, he said, but it was for your birthday. Down came the ruler on her little pink palms. But father didn't hear it. He brought his stick on her little pink palms and he beat her badly. Afters, when grandfather had wrapped her in a shawl, alright, and rocked her in a rocking chair, the child clung to her soft body. So, it in fact made her cry. She in fact kept on crying. So in fact, then what happened? Her mother came. She relaxed her, soothed her, and she in fact rocked her. Rock, when we make someone sleep by beating, him or her gently. So alright, so that's what is called rocking. So then she clung. Clung means stuck, glued. She glued to her soft body and she said, what did God make fathers for? Why has God made fathers? For this, for beating their children. She sobbed, she cried. Here's clean hanky, darling. Blow your nose. Grandmother asked her to clean her nose. Go to sleep, pet, dear. You'll forget all about it in the morning. I tried to explain to father, but he was too upset to listen tonight. But he was very saddened, he was very disappointed, and that is why he didn't listen to it at all. Alright, so you just be relaxed for a while. But the child never forgot. But she never forgot that harsh beating. Next time she saw him, she quickly put both hands behind her back. Still, she was terrified, thinking about that harsh beating. So as soon as she saw father, or like she in fact kept, she almost hid her hand behind herself, quickly put band behind back, and a red color flew into her cheeks, and her cheeks became reddened on account of fear, that fear of being beaten. So today we'll keep this much. A little part is there that would be covered in next video. I hope that you must have understood this much. Thank you so much for watching it.